I had seen pictures of the Dolomites and always wanted to go. A group which calls themselves the Angry Squirrels decided a year ago the Dolomites would be the destination for 2025. I had only joined the group a couple of years ago, but I wasn't going to miss this opportunity. I have a little apprehension leading up to a trip. Did I train enough? Did I bring too much heavy camera gear? Will my baggage show up on the other end? And what did I forget? In Venice, and I have my bags. 2 planes, a bus, and 3 train segments, and I have arrived in Belluno, Italy. I had one extra evening to get over jet lag and enjoyed spending time in the early morning watching the beautiful town come to life. It also gave me time to think about friendships and how lucky I was to call so many people my friend. I had committed to this group to take pictures and put together a video to commemorate the lasting bonds of friendship. During the next 36 hours, the group of 9 guys showed up and the celebration of friendships, old and new, began. We enjoyed connecting and hearing about the latest in everyone's life as we reviewed maps, plans, gear, and made sure we had everything we needed to have a safe and enjoyable trek through the Dolomites. A final breakfast at the hotel, and we loaded into vans, saying goodbye to the old and new of Belluno as we moved to the trailhead. The first day was tough. As we're still jet lagged, it was the first day with a pack on our back, and of course, it was uphill. But as we climbed, we started to get glimpses of the mountains, and we were in awe. This group is used to backpacking and carrying food, tents, sleeping bags, everything to be self-sufficient. It was a pleasant surprise how nice the Rifugios are. It was a significant upgrade from sleeping on the ground and eating freeze-dried food. The Rifugios served dinner and breakfast, and if you ordered the night before, they would provide a packed lunch for the next day. Not having to carry our food was a blessing, as it reduced the weight of our packs significantly. The second day looked easy as we left, but once again we climbed thousands of feet higher into the mountains. This is about the time I question the sanity of carrying 2 lenses, particularly as I get older. I struggle to justify carrying the 100-400 lens as it weighs 3.1 pounds alone. And while it's a commitment to carry, I don't want to miss out on capturing wildlife. And so I dragged the anchor up and down the hills, but I was thrilled I carried it. We also learned you could get a coffee and a pastry at most Rifugios. We were quick to stop for an extra coffee and pastry whenever we passed a Rifugio we weren't staying at. I worked hard to get quality pictures of everyone, but there was some resistance when I found a good background and set up a queue so I could get everyone's picture. Once the picture was taken, I was quick to release the angry squirrels and pack up as they headed towards the next Rifugio. As we traveled north, each Rifugio brought improved resources and comforts. The group was quick to adopt the improving surroundings, and enjoyed sitting outside at the end of the day talking and enjoying a refreshment. Refugio Vasalar even had an extensive flower garden, as this is a location many people day hike to. I am sure it is spectacular in the spring and summer. Relaxing after a tough day's hike, we all enjoyed the grand scenery. A couple of us were in a separate building for the night and got to share tight sleeping quarters with many people. We estimated there were close to 35 people in this building with very thin walls. Every square inch of a refugio is optimized, and I love that it forced people to spend time with others they didn't know. Whether sharing space while enjoying having a refreshment or a meal, we got to meet and talk with some amazing people.
We've had 3 days over 100 this year.
Every day was an adventure, with spectacular scenery and magical clouds adding a softness and a dramatic flair to the awe-inspiring Dolomite Mountains. I love the morning, but when you have a large group trying to get ready, it can be a little hectic. Each day we started with a standard European breakfast of cereal, yogurt, lunch meat, cheese, boiled eggs, juice, and of course, coffee. We discussed the weather and any challenges the day would hold, and always tried to get an early start. I was always excited to get on the trail in the morning. It's quiet, it's beautiful. I've let the guys get ahead of me. Been hiking for a couple hours this morning already. It's just beautiful. Most of the trails were well maintained, but there were some challenges, particularly if you were carrying a camera. There was only one spot which had a cable for safety, as the drop-off was high and it would be easy to fall without a handhold. The day had a rhythm to them. Breakfast, early start, hiking hard for a couple of hours, stopping for lunch with a little rest before getting back on the trail, and if possible, stopping at a refugio along the way for an extra coffee and a pastry. Hard work going uphill. A beautiful, quiet morning. As we came around the corner, there was a shepherd and his flock, and the mountains were in the background. Unexpected, peaceful, and surreal. We could hear the bells from a long ways away, but didn't know what was making the beautiful music with the bells. It was just one more example of the unexpected experiences we had each and every day. So beautiful, it almost doesn't seem real. Once we arrived at a refugio for the night, we checked in and started to explore. Each Refugio was unique and had its own charm. So who are the Angry Squirrels? This is a group of friends who have been on many backpacking, mountain climbing, and adventure trips over the years. Early members were on a rafting trip, and one of the guides was wearing an Angry Squirrel t-shirt, which was the name of a band in the Pacific Northwest. So in 2003, the name was adopted for this group of friends and adventurers.
We're like a bunch of brothers, great friends, beautiful scenery, unbelievable scenery.
For the 23rd years of the Angry Squirrels, fantastic amongst all the white stones of the Dolomites.
I would say this year, maybe the most scenic, the most epic.
Well, it's never been a more perfect day to be with the Angry Squirrels in the outdoors.
What an awesome place. This could only be better if Mario were here with us.
The squirrels mean a lot to me. There's nothing as bonding as this, and for that, I'll always be thankful.
Another beautiful day. As we approached Cortina, the different members would go their separate ways. Some would meet their wives to enjoy other sights in Italy. Some would start the trip home. But Keith, Mario, and I were supposed to continue on with 3 additional sections of the Alta Via 1 trail. Unfortunately, Mario broke the news to us he would not be able to join us. He had work-related issues he had to attend to. Many of us can relate to the disappointment when work gets in the way of our plans. We had a toast to this trip and future trips when we'd all be together. Keith and I left the next morning, actually hiking from our hotel with almost 6,000 feet of elevation gain on the first additional day. This trip would not have been possible if not for the planning, scheduling, and leadership of Mario and Keith. The group was able to experience this epic trip because of their efforts. Thank you, Mario and Keith. This was a very difficult day, but there was a surprise waiting for us at the Refugio. The trend continued as this Refugio was nicer than all the previous ones. The bathrooms were very modern, and while the showers were still coin operated, you got 4 minutes versus the 2 we started with at the beginning of the trip. The weather was cold and rainy when we arrived. What better way to thaw out than to take a sauna? Yes, unbelievable, but they had a sauna at the top of the mountain. I don't remember what it cost, but how could you not take a sauna in such a unique place? The sore body appreciated it, and the experience was fantastic. On a more serious note, it was shocking to learn we were walking on hallowed ground. In such a beautiful place, there were World War II ruins all around. It is hard to imagine in such a harsh and unforgiving environment, soldiers were living, fighting, and dying. A sobering thought. As we left the area, a movement caught my eye on an old wall. Do you see the 3 birds? I believe they are rock ptarmigans.
Friendships, new and old, and even those acquaintances that we meet for just a short period of time on the trail or share a meal with in a Refugio they're special.
The next challenge was the climb we faced. It was hard to see how the path went through this area, but it did, and it was steep with what felt like hundreds of switchbacks. We were very glad to get to the top, and it looked like we were done with the major challenges of the area, or so we thought.
My good friend Keith, guide, and a person that hikes at an unrelenting pace.
Over the edge was the next challenge.
What's your favorite stuff? You know it.
I have a healthy respect for heights. This steep, rocky section was damp and slippery. I didn't like it one bit. Luckily, we could tell that they had recently installed cables to hold on to, and I couldn't imagine taking on this section without the cables.
Looks like we got some rain chasing us. And while you can't outrun the rain, Keith is gonna give it a good shot. Well, we made it through most of the trail today, but it's starting to rain and it's gonna get cold.
We arrived at the last Refugio, and it was more like a 5-star hotel. We were quick to have a refreshment in the bar, where locals were also trying to stay out of the rain.
Last day, it's gonna rain the whole day. But still, look how beautiful it is.
We made it to the end of the trail, took a bus to Cortina, and then traveled back to Venice, where we spent some time downtown before heading to the airport to return home. This was an amazing trip. Thanks to Keith for allowing me to use some of the video he shot to help tell the story of our adventure.